What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner, and 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And I host the only online broadcast in the world for fathers and dads that is sponsored by Dove Men Care, and it's also co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And I am the board chair for the Global Food and Drink Initiative. It's a multimedia not-for-profit that showcases Blacks in the diaspora that are doing their thing in food, wine, and travel. As always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. We're broadcasting live on July 4th. And most Sunday afternoons around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we do Black Canada Talking, which is an online event that provides Black Canadians an opportunity to give their takes and POVs and on stories that are of importance to them. Sorry about that. And today we're showcasing another great Black Canadian. Her name is Nicole Badeau. She's a communications professional with a BA in English Literature from the University of Toronto and a postgraduate in the Corporate Communications and Public Relations program from Centennial College. I'm a PR graduate myself, but from Humber College, which is at the other end of Toronto, through BL PR Digital, which is Black Leopard PR. She excels in at connecting businesses with their ideal customers using digital media. Under her leadership, BLPR has assisted dozens of companies with translating their traditional marketing techniques into digital strategies. Gain the attention you trust of your target customers and watch their sales increase. So we're going to get it right quick because she doesn't have a lot of time today. So we're going to introduce to the platform. It's been a while since she's been on the Dr. Vibe platform. Nicole Badeau, how are you today?
Hello, Dr. Vibe, BLPR, Black Leopard, roar.
Roar. And you've got the roar of colors with you today.
Yeah, you know what? I started out as Black Leopard, and fun fact, everybody remembered me as Black Panther. So I had to get rid of it because nobody could remember it. So BLPR now stands for Black Business, Life, People, and Relationships. That's what we handle most of the time when we're talking about marketing and public relations. So BLPR, that's what it stands for now.
BLP. And what got you into the role? How did you dive into marketing and PR, and especially for the Black community?
Yeah. Yes. So tons of Black businesses pop up every day. We're very enterprising people, Caribbeans, Africans, the entire diaspora. We like to dive into what's hot and happening right now. But the key, some of what we're missing is the marketing piece. We think often that we can do our own marketing. And so there are people like me who are professional communicators who specialize in marketing. I love to bring my experience to bear for my own community. So I love to work with Black businesses. And, you know, the piece that we might need help on the most is professionalizing marketing. Everybody's got a phone in their hand. Everybody has social media, but not everyone knows how to use it professionally. It's the difference between riding your bike to the corner store and, you know, being in the Tour de France. It's a whole other. It's a
a good analogy. Very good. No, it's a very good analogy.
Yeah. And it's a lot of. It's the part that I find people stumble on the most. It's that when you're doing it for yourself, you do it whenever you feel like, you post whatever you feel like. But when you're posting professionally, you're thinking about your audience. What do they like? What do they want? What am I projecting as my brand? You know, am I pre-scheduling my posts so I have something going out constantly like a media platform would? I'm treating myself like my own office here. So it's a completely different vibe when you're doing it professionally. And sometimes the best thing you can do as a business person is say, this is not my area of expertise. Let me find someone who will do it for me. And that's what I do.
Do you find that you do more educating than actual coaching.
Oh. Is there a difference?
Yes, I think coaching, the person comes and you just guide them, because I know that a number of Black businesses that I've encountered have no idea what marketing is.
Right.
And in order for me to get to the mentorship stage, I have to educate them first.
Right.
To get to that level. So maybe, let's say it's part of the process. So let me ask you, with the organizations that you come in contact with, Black business wise, on a percentage wise, what percentage do you feel have a good basic knowledge of what marketing, digital marketing is?
Well, first of all, no businesses know. There's not one business that I've come across, Black or otherwise, small business or big business, that knows what marketing really is supposed to do.
Okay.
That's number one. And bigger businesses, sometimes they have a budget, they have a line in their budget for marketing. But when you talk to the communications person, they don't always know what they're doing. They just know, I need to get on social media. I don't know what social media is because I'm an older person sometimes. And you do it, handle it. You know what the kids want. We just know we need to be there somewhere, but we don't know what it's supposed to do. We don't know what our return on investment really should be. We don't know what our brand is really saying. So every business I have to walk through from the beginning to the end of what marketing and communications is, what advertising should do, and what branding is doing. So there's a direct to consumer marketing. That's the ask. That's the direct advertising. That's the see my thing and buy it now. And then there's the pulling. This is what our brand is about. Our brand is about headscarves, but we're not just about headscarves. We're about freedom lifestyle, wearing your hair in whatever way you want to. Do you identify with that? That's the pulling.
I can't, but you know. but
there's no reason why you can't wear a headscarf.
Well, that's true. That's true. That you, as you see, hair care is very important to me.
And you know what? But that might change. It's not really about the hair. It's about the freedom to do whatever you want.
Can I do this? Yeah, okay. All right. So I know, because in lieu of time, we can't get deeper, and hopefully you'll have time to come back. But actually, I'm going to give you a pop quiz before we get into deeper. Okay. Do you remember the first time you were on the Dr. Vibe show?
No.
Okay. You were first on the Dr. Vibe show back on October 20th, 2016.
Ooh. What was that? What were we talking about then?
We were just talking about the Black Leopard PR then, not BLPR digital. We were talking about, but so just, okay, little quick thing. What has changed in your life in the last 5 years? Tell people. And you're still doing incredible stuff. So tell just a little, what's changed in your life in the last 5 years?
Well, okay. So just a couple things, 5 years, you know, just a thing or a thing. So I met my wonderful husband on an app, one of those dating apps. I swiped right and I met him, and, you know, it was wonderful. And we then got married in a year. And then we, you know, moved where we are now. And then we had a first baby. And then we had a second baby. And then now I'm jumping back into my business. You know, I've never stopped, by the way. Like most, as they say, a Jamaican has 6 jobs. I've never stopped working. There's no such thing as maternity leave when you're an entrepreneur.
True.
Well, that doesn't exist. Sometimes, you know, I'm nursing and I'm typing. I'm nursing and I'm on the Zoom from a
man. This make a good reality show. BLPR reality show. I think there's some content there.
You don't want to see. I don't think people are ready to see the real. I think a lot of women. And speaking of which, in this pandemic, it has affected women the most in their careers. Okay. And so why is that? Because a lot of the child care and the health care, and then they're working at home, has fallen on our shoulders. And it's not easy. Not
You,
easy.
you know you're giving a great teaser for a part 2 of this conversation. You know that. Yeah, just want to make you aware that I'm going to be coming after you for part 2, not 5 years down the line either.
No,
Okay.
please,
Okay.
no, don't wait
All
5
right.
years.
So you segued really nicely, and if the producer can put up the link for the pandemic playbook, and we could
Yeah.
show it on screen, give us a little background about why did you write or come up with the pandemic playbook ebook?
Pandemic playbook. So I've been listening like everyone else. I've been scrolling through this whole pandemic, you know. Oh, there it is. So nice. Isn't that lovely? Thank
There
you
we
so
go.
much. I shout out to my cousin who designed that cover and designed the book. And her name is Peter Gay Walcott. And I will thank
Yes.
you. Oh, Divine Right. Thank
Yeah.
you, Divine Right.
Yeah, she's a wonderful book writer based in the Virginia, DC area. So it's a big supporter. She does self-publishing and does webinars on how to self-publish your book.
Fantastic. Needed. I will connect with you again because I'll be starting Leopard again too. Also.
Okay,
Anyway.
so I will share each other's
Please-
contact
Please
information.
connect us.
Sure.
Yeah, so I've been watching, but also I've been working. And I noticed that some businesses have suffered and closed during this terrible, terrible pandemic.
Many.
You know, and especially Black businesses.
Many.
Many. But number 2, there have been other businesses that are thriving like never before during this pandemic. So what separates the ones that have disappeared and the others that are booming? Plus, let me add in another caveat. The big businesses that were already big, the Walmarts, the Best Buys, the Amazons, are in the stratosphere of doing well, great business. And when there are lockdowns in Canada and you cannot go into stores and small businesses are closed completely, but the big businesses are still open and small business people are complaining, why is it that the big businesses can stay open? There are still strategies that small businesses can adopt to their own business to also stay open and keep earning during the lockdown. And this thing is not over yet. We still have the Delta variant over there. So if there's any way that I can help your business stay open and get bigger, or at least keep the money coming in because it means so much to us, then I'll do that. And I have 12 principles that I have in this workbook that might help you stay open.
So how did the vision come about for this book? You said you were watching. Hold on. So Divine Right said it's been crushing to see small family-owned businesses that closed after being around for decades that we supported. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you were watching. So when did watching phase become I'm going to get this book done phase?
Well, I'm always watching. I'm listening. That's the role of a marketer. I'm also copywriting all the time, so I have to know what the streets are saying. I have to know how people talk, what they're talking about online. I have my current clients always, so I'm always active. So there's the one thing, and the businesses that I've been helping are doing well. So when I see these smaller businesses, these Black businesses, suffering even more than they already do in this tough competition, I have to do something. And I think, what can I do? What can I volunteer somewhere? It's a pandemic. I don't really want to leave my house, but I do have a skill. I have one skill.
I think you have more than one, but keep on going.
I've got one major area of expertise, and that's communication. That's communication and marketing. And I've been a teacher for many, many years in many different disciplines. I was ice skating instructor for over a decade. I just went out this morning. I say that because I was out this morning rollerblading again, pushing a stroller and rollerblading. People laughed.
Again, I'm telling you, content for the reality show. You're missing an opportunity here.
I don't want to be on a reality show. But
the money's good.
Yeah, I want to stay married, and that usually
Oh,
doesn't
oh,
happen on these shows.
ouch,
No
ouch.
shade.
Okay.
No
Okay.
shade to the housewives of the world. I would love to be a
Okay.
housewife, but
Okay.
I also want to stay married. So, yeah, I what can I do? And what I can do is bring my skills to bear. I see certain things, like for example, I'll give you a free tip from the book. Non-perishables. Why can Dollarama stay open during the pandemic as an essential business? What is essential about bubble wands from the Dollarama? They sell non-perishable goods. That is it, chips. And yet you can get chips from a wholesaler in your local area that sells to convenience stores. And you can sell that at a markup and buy it wholesale at a much cheaper price. So why aren't smaller businesses doing that? They're not thinking about it. So there are 12 things that I mentioned in this workbook that a smaller business can do to stay competitive during this terrible, terrible time.
Do you want me to run through the chapters, or do we just want to?
Sure, give it to me, Dr. Vibe.
Okay, so the chapters of the book. Here I am. For number one, we have obviously have a website. Next up, essential is a state of mind.
Yes.
Then we have make something they can listen to.
Hold on, Dr. Vibe, I got to shout you out. You've been doing it for years, and this is an example.
Uh-oh.
Dr. Vibe has been making content you can listen to for years. Mm-hmm. I have your show on my Stitcher Radio app on my phone, and every once in a while I tune in, I listen to what's Dr. Vibe talking about. But if I'm not on my Stitcher app, guess what? I can watch and listen to Dr. Vibe on YouTube. And guess what? If I'm not on YouTube, I can listen and or watch Dr. Vibe on Facebook.
Okay, I'm gonna add on to something here. It's interesting when I tell people that you can either listen to my content or watch my content. People love that, and I did that from way back when because I always think global.
Yes,
and I never know what internet accessibility is going to be like. Where even in here in Toronto and Canada, if Wi-Fi is not the greatest of things, because it takes more, especially video wise, it takes more bandwidth Wi-Fi wise than just audio. So if you can't watch it video wise, you can at least audio wise listen to it. So make it as easy as possible for people to access your product or your service.
Now, question, how have your numbers been doing during the last 2 years versus the previous 5?
Well, you may want to interview me. The last 12 to 14 months has been the greatest business and online growth I've ever had.
Of course. But
for a few reasons. First of all, I've been doing this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then people said, I don't know how to do this. Dr. Vibe knows how to do this.
Okay.
He has the evaluated experience of doing this stuff online. So 2 years ago, I wouldn't see myself hosting events for other organizations.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So being persistent, consistent, and the soft skills. How do you treat people?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That a lot. Yes, we're talking digital here, but a lot of times it's the soft skills that are going to make or break if you're going to get forward in the online world. Yes, you have to have consistent content. You have to have this, but people are only going to work with who they like.
Yes.
If they don't like you, they're not going to work with you.
That's right.
And that's not a digital thing, right? So, Divine Right says, I've had arguments with folks about websites. I tell them that they need their own real estate on the internet. They want to solely rely on social media and not invest in a website. Sigh.
Lasai, Divine Right. You're 100% correct. You want your own real estate. If Instagram decides to shut you down, guess what? You still have your website. If Linktree decides to go away, guess what? You still have your website. If YouTube decides to not show your videos, guess what? You still have your website. You own that. you don't own these other platforms,
Yeah.
right?
Ownership is really key. For myself, I have at least 2 copies of every conversation I've ever done
Yes.
on my own drives and on separate drives. So if one drive goes bad, it's
Yes.
still on another one.
Yeah.
So those sort of things happen here. So I think that what you're saying is really, really true. It's right on. The book, I've enjoyed the book, and I think it's one to buy, even just to know what's going on digital, because time never lost a fight, and the internet is not going away. Let me ask Nicole: when businesses tell you, "Oh well, we can't wait to get back to normal,"
Yeah.
what do you
Not going back. It's not going back as it was. It will.
Right.
Things will go back. People are eager to be with other people. Guess what? That's what we've learned through this whole experience, is that people like to be around other people. So no matter what happens, we will return to something like that. But we were already moving in this more digital world to begin with before the pandemic. It's just accelerated what was already happening. So it's not a matter of when you're going to get online. It's not a matter of if, it's when. It's when are you going to compete with the rest of the world and get online? And now. The answer is now.
Yeah, and you have been doing this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
The cost to implement goods and services online now compared to like 5 years ago, is it the same? Is it lower? Is it higher? Because a lot of people will say, "Oh, I can't afford it."
Well, okay. My principle in business is Arthur Ashe: do what you can with what you have right now. Right now, you're not competing. If you're competing against Nike, then you have a Nike budget, but you're not competing against Nike. You're doing what you can in your space right now with the resources you've got. So whatever that is that just doing a website, do that. If it just means working on your social media and investing your time on that, not necessarily your money, do that. If you have enough money to hire a consultant, do that. Or if you've got a little bit more, hire your consultant and an employee, do that. But whatever it is, you've got to move. You have to do something to stay in the game. So do what you can. You can't do everything. So pick something.
Yeah, and it's funny because Nicole jumped on in the audience on that conversation I do on Mondays and Friday mornings called The Morning Vibe. Plug, 9 a.m. Eastern time. And we began going back conversation-wise. And I said, wow, I haven't heard from you in a minute. And that's how she showed up here. Consistent. She's been doing what she's been doing consistently. And I've been doing what I've been doing consistently. People are looking for you if you're doing something on a consistent basis.
And it doesn't mean you're not going to get discouraged. I went through my own meltdown yesterday. Things, life happens around you, and you're plugging away at it. It's not easy. It's not easy. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years for a reason. I'm going on 7 years now. I've been at it for a moment, and I will continue to be at it, but it's not because it's easy. But and yet it's just one foot in front of the other. That's it. That's all I can do.
Well, 7 years, marriage, 2 kids, and rollerblading and pushing the carriage at the same time. Like all those things. Trying
to get back in shape. The quarantine 15 has to come off.
So from where you sit,
yeah.
If you were a Black entrepreneur, if you're a Black entrepreneur,
which I am,
but if you wanted to get into some opportunities as a Black entrepreneur,
yes,
what areas do you feel there is opportunity to do something, make something happen?
Well, as you read out that section, audio, make something they can listen to. That the area of audio is wide open when compared to everything else. You go to an Indigo, there are books everywhere. You go on an Amazon, there are lots of physical books. There are tons of physical books. But audio, in the audio space, when you go to Audible, Not so many. Not so many. So the audio space is wide open for less competition. So if you can do something like a podcast, if you can do something like reading an audio book, do that. Start there and build on that.
I think also, just to add on what Nicole is mentioning, in the last 12 to 18 months, some of the biggest launches of new apps have been social audio apps.
Yes.
Clubhouse.
The Clubhouse of the world, yes.
Of course, Facebook, who doesn't do anything original, they copied everything, and have their own. Yeah. Also, Twitter has their own called Twitter Spaces. There's also in the last month, Spotify created Greenhouse. And there's other ones coming. So social audio has become a big thing because, again, so many people were inside or at home and they didn't have a chance to go out. Now it'll be interesting to see the long-term impact on social audio. But right now, social audio is very hot right now. So I will just add on to what Nicole is saying, that yes, anything audio-wise would be great. Unfortunately, I didn't get through the chapters of the book, so let me do it quick. Obviously, have a website. Next up, essential is a state of mind. Then you have make something they can listen to. Then outdoor sports and indoor games. Spend time on your customer service. Very important.
Very important.
Your only cost is people.
Yeah.
Make it an app. There is strength in numbers. Strategize, make connections, listen, learn, and do something. No justice, no peace. Offer something for free. And then hashtag me too. I got through them.
Yeah, 12. All 12. You did it. You did it. You made it through all 12. Thank you, Dr. Vibe. So
I know we've got to let you go because you've got family responsibilities.
Yes, sir.
Is there one or two tips you'd like to leave our audience with?
Oh.
Because you're coming back, so you don't have to give one. That's a goal of mine.
I wanted to say something. I wanted to give you a tip.
I'm in trouble.
Don't mind. On your Instagram, would you have video on Instagram? Your IGTV and your reels. Make sure that your picture.
It's being corrected.
There you go.
My mentor told me about that. It is being corrected. So what I'm going to be doing. So here's my question: do I delete those and put up the ones that? That's what I was not. Okay, that's what I was saying. But no, going forward, that's going to be that's been rectified. It's already in a work in process. Am I allowed to give one or two tips?
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
Okay. First up, do not run a BEB if you're an entrepreneur. They're going to say, what's BEB? Don't run a break-even business. Make a profit. Build in a profit to your services. Because again, if you don't build a profit, you're not going to eat.
Right.
You're not going to have a business. And there's a difference between making money and making revenue.
Hey, talk about it. Next time we have to talk about that.
Okay. So, and I think there's one of the things that Nicole sort of went, oh my goodness, I got to speak with Dr. Vibe. If you're a business, especially if you've been around for more than a year, when was the last time you did a survey?
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it at that.
Ask the questions. Ask people.
You know, and I don't even care if you have 20 people on your mailing list. Have a survey. Find out what your people are thinking. Not only find out demographic information, but psychographic information.
Yes, that's the most important thing.
Yes, demographics, whatever. Psychographics is the key.
There it is.
All right,
it is.
Nicole, we
Dr.
did it.
Vibe, you started it.
What did I start?
You started it. Now I have to keep coming back.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. At least me and my divine right going to be here anyways.
Yes, yes.
And I'll make sure that I do that introduction to both of you.
Please do.
All right. I know you got to run, so we'll catch you later. Be well and keep the faith.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Be well. Stay safe. Love to you and the family. It is Dr. Vibe here. I'm the host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Innovation Award winner. No, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. Also, the host of the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Care and Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization. And I am the board chair for the Global Food and Drink Initiative. It's a multimedia not-for-profit that showcases Blacks in the diaspora that are doing their thing in food, wine, and travel. I'd like to say thank you for watching this. Black Canada Talking. We're on most Sundays at 5 p.m. Next week, we have a little bit of a change up. Most of you who are regular fans of Black Canada Talking, you've come to love. At the end of the month, we have our roundtable with El Jones, Sarah Yongo, Warren Clark, and Cesar. Well, we're now going bi-weekly. So starting next week, we will have our bi-weekly panel. And the reason why we did that is that once a month, there were so many stories that got missed and couldn't get to them. So now we're going to go bi-weekly starting next week. So we look forward to having you there. And also, please contact me if there's any stories you'd like the panel to chat about. As always, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who watched live or listened live or will be listening on the replay. I'd like to thank Divine Right. Thank you for your support. And I will make sure I introduce you and Nicole, because it sounds like there could be a potential collaboration there. As always, I'd like to start. I'm not starting. I'm just rushing. I'm used to being on longer, so this is nice and tight today. As always, I'd like to end off with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get small to get stronger. Block assumptions and aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. And remember to give yourselves grace. That is it. That is all. And also a big thank you to BIA Media for the production. God bless, peace well, keep the faith, and remember, walk good. Bye, everybody.